leadership had to be changed so that society can thrive. And God has changed the leadership. It's already happened. And in today's lesson, we're going to learn through real life evidence, through real life examples, why leadership had to be changed. Everything really follows, and we need strong leaders in this world. And we'll be focusing on this as we continue to grow. And I want everyone to write it in the chat and in the comments. Leaders lead. And we need leaders to lead, the right leaders. And the right leaders are the ones that are picking the people up. And we're leaving a society that was fear-based. And a lot of you know that term, a fear-based society. Now we're moving in a different direction. And we're moving towards a love heart-based society. And sometimes when we analyze everyday life, and I'll be breaking down some real life examples, a true leader listens to the people. A true leader sees change happening and is preemptive about it and gets ahead of the change and implements things. I've shared this before, okay? And maybe you are a leader and you're listening to Uncle Mike. Sometimes it's better to be preemptive, okay? So we cannot fight against the forces of God, but when we are letting go and we make changes, and if you're new to the channel, check out the channel page. When we actually are preemptive and we make changes ahead of time, it makes transitioning a lot easier. And you can see when, instead of forcing against it, pushing against it, we're actually moving together. When I started the channel, I did a video on constructive and deconstructive interference waves. So all of society, and this comes from the leadership role first, when we have constructive waves, we're now building up society instead of, seeing it fail, instead of seeing it, fall apart. When people are happier, we see a lot of improvement and a lot of changes. So whether you're watching live or on the replay, this is actually a very important message today. Could you kindly smash the like button? I appreciate that, as it helps others find this message. And a lot of people want to know why leadership has been changed behind the scenes already. And we're seeing the benefits of quality leadership, and why does it have to be changed? And I'm an everyday life guy, just like a lot of people that are tuned into this video today. And sometimes I watch sports, and so I'm going to start off today's lesson with some examples of sports. And so recently, if you watch baseball, Aaron Boone, who does get thrown out of the game a lot, in the very beginning of the game, the umpire, he said something, and the umpire says, "You say it again, you're out of here." And he's like, okay. And, like the next pitch, someone in the stands yelled, and the umpire said, "You're out of here." And he threw the manager out of the game. And he said, it wasn't me. And the umpire said, "I don't want to hear it. You're out of here." And he's fighting with him. And there was no, the penalty, if you will. And everyone saw it on the TV. Like, he didn't even say anything. He was just sitting there, and he got thrown out of the game for no reason. And he started jumping up and down, and he said, it wasn't me. And he said, "I don't care. You're out of here." And he didn't even do anything. And he literally got thrown out of the game. You could actually use the Google and look up this clip as well. So when leadership, dishes out a penalty and a person didn't even do anything, there has to be better ways. Obviously, you could see on the replay, he didn't even say anything. So he said, "Listen, I understand, and I'm not going to say anything." And he got thrown out of the game. He didn't even say a word. Football. A lot of you that watch football, you could see players and they get into an altercation and they start pushing and shoving, and one person instigates the pushing and shoving, pushes one guy, and then the other guy and then pushes him back, and the ref throws the flag on the person that's defending themselves instead of the player that actually started this altercation of pushing. So those that watch football, you could see this with throwing the flag. Now, like many of you, I watch football. A lot of people are getting sick and tired of constant flags, and it's kind of throwing the game off. And we, the people, we can't paint all quote unquote leaders with a broad stroke. And we also have to realize that people put out a frequency. And there are certain leaders that command respect from everyone, and it's well known. So as we move forward, and I'm going to give an example when it comes to football, people are showing respect. And when a leader is given respect, it is just everyone sits quietly and they listen to this leader with 100% respect. Nobody questions this person. So when you take football, for example, and there's a lot of, say, refs that are throwing flags, people that like this is not leadership. This is all over the place. So he's a retired ref, and his name is Gene Steratore, and I listened to his interview, and one of the, he is trying to coach up, if you will, other referees, and he says we're looking for whales. We're not looking for minnows, meaning that if you're throwing flags, you're doing it on big penalties. You're not doing it on anything. Because what happens is if you're a leader and you shouldn't be a leader, your ego starts to get in the way. I'm going to throw the flag for this. I'm going to throw my power around. So, his phrase of we're looking for whales, we're not looking for minnows, we're not looking for the little things and just doing it. It has to be egregious. And when people are all looking to Gene Steratore, and some of you know Gene, and they're saying, this guy should be in charge of so it's a natural, people will naturally, and think about this, you might watch football like me, and you might remember Gene Steratore, and this is a person that naturally commands a room and everyone listens because it's fair. When I was a school teacher, there was a phrase that I used to apply and share, and as I mentored other teachers, fair but firm. Okay, you have to have order, right? You have to have order because order precedes learning. Order precedes learning. Write it down. Order precedes learning. That's why we don't have narcissists running around and doing everything. You have to have order. Okay, but you have to be fair. Okay, it's not about just throwing your weight around. I used to see this a lot as well. I was just having a conversation with someone, and she was telling me how the teacher was giving her daughter a very hard time. And, when the wrong people have a little bit of power, they think that they could just throw that power around and pick on people. And that's why we want to have real leaders. We want to have real teachers that it's just an authentic vibe. And you've seen that, I'm just using certain, people or leaders I'll use Peyton Manning as an example. He used to lead the locker room. Everyone just listened. He just commanded the room. He showed respect for everyone. I listened to some of his interviews as well. So we have to move to a world where authentic leaders are rising up. We don't need leaders, and we didn't need leaders that are kind of throwing their power around just for willy-nilly stuff. So that's why things are falling into alignment. Now, when people, right, because we do need leaders, and it's an authentic free will, I'm going to listen to this person. I respect this person. So, and you could see this, you could write examples I'm just trying to use real life examples it doesn't have to be sports, but whatever it is that you see, where people, there's always this push up against leadership, but there are people that everyone knows, it's just a natural vibe. Everyone just listens and respects this person. So that's where we're kind of heading towards. Years ago, I saw an interview, and I don't remember exactly what the country was. But this leader, it was in the Middle East, and he sees that we're moving away from fossil fuels, and oil was the way that this country would make a lot of their money. Okay, hit the like button because this is an important message. I want everyone to listen to this. So I listened to the interview, and this is going back years ago. I've always been studying. I've been studying leadership for many years. So I listened to this man, and he was leader of his country, and he said, fossil fuels, as technology changes, I know I can't rely for my country just to be on fossil fuels. So he looks at the coastline, and he says, look at this beautiful coastline. And he said, and at the time, this is going back a few years ago, they started building all these hotels. So he said, I'm going to change my focus from, say fossil fuels, from oil to vacations. And he said, look at this beautiful coastline. And people, but we didn't have the hotels. We didn't have these things. So we're going to now change our focus from oil to vacations. Don't you? I mean, think about the vibration behind that. Everyone write vacations in the chat, and so that's really high vibe. So we kind of see that things are changing. So when you are seeing the changes we do see technology. I'm just using this as an example. Technology is changing. So if you have something right there, and just because this was the way of the past, listen, as a leader, I have to, make changes. I've made changes over time. And if we want to be successful in life, we could see the changes coming ahead of time. We could be preemptive and let go. Letting go is really a big thing. So when I listened to this interview years ago, and it was just certain things, I talk about resonance. Certain things, you could hear an interview, you could hear a phrase, and it just rings like a bell inside of you. And so when you are starting to see, we have to get behind this change, okay? So to hear the leadership, and, he was just happy about it. And he said, so now we're going to invest on this coastline over here, and we're going to build these hotels, and we're going to make this a place where everyone wants to come for vacation. And so it's and if you think about it, right? So what does that have to do with oil? Absolutely nothing, right? So it's really, you might be getting this message right now. And what makes you happy? Think about that video I left a long time ago. Don't you want, it's almost a year now, and it really lasts the test of time. Don't you want to have fun? When you start focusing on things that you actually have fun with, I talk about the inner child, comic books, superheroes, right? But when you actually are embedded with the things that bring you joy, the high vibe stuff, everyone write high vibe in the comments. When you are embracing high vibe, so to see that and seeing how leadership is saying, you know what, oil might not be here, whatever he was saying, 20, and this is going back a few years ago, 20, 25 years from now, it's going to be different. So he's focusing on vacations. Big time vacations, baby. Yeah, we are going on vacation. It's going to be vacations are going to be part of everyday life. Could you imagine? Think about the vibration that you get when you go on vacation. Some people in other countries call it holiday. I know all the terms. Is that you? You can raise your hand in the comments. Some people call it holiday. But when you go on vacation, it's such a happy, joyous vibe. And this is the abundance that we're bringing in this year. The abundance, it comes in with experiences, right? So think about the abundance of being happy every day. Think about the abundance of, people are happy, especially, like the leaders that are treating people better, and they get better production. I'm telling each and every one of you, you will always get better production out of people when they are in higher vibes and not in fight or flight. Why? Because we cannot create from a place of fear. We could only create from a place of love, from authenticity. Those are the higher states of consciousness. That's where we are creating. So we can't create from fear, and every leader should hear this. When you have your people and they are, number one, respect, always command respect, but when they are happy, when they are joyous, that's where you're going to get productivity. Sergio Gonzalez, thank you so much. Role, that's the word. I appreciate you, Sergio. Yeah, leadership roles. We all have a leadership role, and it comes in many forms. So, and that's why I'm just giving all different examples. I like to refer to real life, everyday life things so that people can relate to it. I appreciate that. Appreciate all the beautiful comments. I really do. Appreciate you all being here. Appreciate if you smash that like button for your Uncle Mike as we continue to grow. It's a great support. You know, when I started this, I said, this will be authentic and this will go through the people. And that message lasts the test of time. When it's authentic, people just naturally share, naturally do these things. And all I need to do is show up every day. I know I talk to God. I said, all I have to do is show up every day and the people will take care of it. And the more that you guys do that, I can focus all my efforts. So that's the positive feedback loop. And now I can focus all my efforts on creating. And that's why, you know, if you are becoming a leader, you have to know this, and you want to get highest production out of the people that you're leading. You want to get most production. And the fact of the matter is, but this can be changed. It always can be changed. It could always be flipped. And if you think about the power in flipping the pole, you know, some people talk about pole flip, right? But if you think about this, and this is what the pole flip is. This is the flip of because the universe, it follows universal laws, and they can't be denied, and they always happen all the time. All the time they happen. But what if you took that law and you are making sure that that law works for you, works for your company, works for your organization, works for your ministry, whatever it is that you are, moving forward with on your journey. And the positive pole and the negative pole, there's always going to be a yin-yang. There's always going to be a little bit of something, right? So if it's never going to be 100%, it's, ready? Life is never 100% of everything. It's always a time for this and a time for that. So if you're a leader and you want to really get the most out of people, the law of 80-20. Everyone could write 80/20 in the comments. The law of 80-20 lasts the test of time. You know, and 80-20. 80% of the production of the people that you lead over comes from 20% of the people that you're leading over. Now, could you imagine? Jane, I appreciate you, Jane. Thank you for that. Could you imagine? And it's just the way of the world. Only 20% of most, organizations, 20% of the quality has been coming. 20% of the people, that's of the quality. What if it was flipped and the quality and production came from 80% of the people? Could you imagine that? That's a flip. That's an exponential flip. Okay? 4 times. 4 times the amount. And it goes beyond that because of synergy and everything else. So when you think of 80-20, could you imagine if 80% of the people were giving production, not 20% of the people. And if it was only 20% that weren't given production, that's a tremendous change. Is that not a tremendous change? Let us know in the comments. These are the laws that we can actually, I appreciate that, Kathleen. We got them all here. We got science, we got math, we got history. We got all, we're teaching everything. Teachers teach. You can write that in the comments right now. Teachers teach. So imagine, and so that's why leadership had to be changed. Because if you have the wrong people leading, right? So what did the Christ say? Don't lead the children astray. So when people are being led astray, they're being led off the cliff. So when you actually have strong leadership, that's where the change, and everyone could change. It happens, it's the internal. I told, this is not an external, this is internal change. So, you know, I take the accountability mirror out on myself. There are certain aspects. No one is perfect their first go round. Everyone goes through this. Everyone goes through a shift. The only difference is right now is that this is happening at a global scale for all of humanity. And that's why leadership has been changed by God behind the scenes. The solar flash is an inside job. Yeah, it's an inside job. I've seen changes within people over time. Rocky taught us about that as well. But, you know, the things that you have to, you know, be mindful and aware of, God is changing leadership for a divine purpose. And, you know, when we're in lighter and brighter energies, we get so much more production out. And we want to be happy. We want to, and we will all get more out of life. We will get more out of society with this leadership change that has already taken place, because the energy has already hit this earth, and that energy has already hit that sacred heart, and that energy is shifting like never before. However, everything is free will. So it's always best to see where the world is headed, right? Where are we headed? Where are you headed, right? Where are you headed? And how can we be preemptive? If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Check out the channel page. There is a different energy theme behind being preemptive than, oh man, this is I have to do this right now. And that's what God is really trying to do to make the transition a lot easier. I mean, and think about it too, don't you? Wouldn't you rather have a love-based society instead of a fear-based society? Be free with yourself. Leaders lead. And when you think about, you know, the examples that I gave, a lot of us see this happening, and we're seeing things, they don't make sense. You're seeing referees throw the flag. I said, what the heck is this about? But it's not everyone. And we have people. So like Gene is trying to, you know, teach other refs how to do a better job. That's the shift. It's a natural rise to power. And the natural rise to power for authentic people is happening right now. Please hit that like button if you're here to rise to your power. We're all remembering. There's a remembrance right now. There's a power that's inside. And, you know, the world, it can't be so robotic. There has to be empathy. There has to be something behind it, you know. So that you know, cookie, and I've seen it over the years. Well, it says here you have to, right, be tapped into the soul-based society. It's a much powerful energy. Linda Terrick, thank you so much. Love never fails. Absolutely, Linda. I love you. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, we have to be really focused on that. Embracing love. Remember, unconditional love. Not, you need to do this. Blah, 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 blah. Get out of here, right? Let them know. And so the fear-based society got people to worship the system instead of people. Have you witnessed that on your journey? People would rather worship the system than worship people. Isn't that wild? Oh, I need to do this. They're worshiping this, all these things that society says, oh, I need to do this. You don't have to do anything. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. What's the job you want? What calls you? What's the type of relationship you want? What calls you? Not because this is cookie cutter, robot. No. Authenticity is rising up. And you've seen that. And I've seen it, and I've seen the change as well. You know, in the area over here, the change, you know, so like say, I'm just using this as an example. Some people see a police officer and they get nervous. So on a car that's driving around and it's like a officer in uniform, it says public service assistant. Isn't that a better vibration? And the guys go around and they're working, right? And they're just helping people. Public service assistant on the car, not police, right? Public service assistant. They're not looking to write tickets. They're just looking to help people. That's all you got to do. Serge, I appreciate you. Psalms 144. Absolutely. Yeah. I love you. Public service assistant. Think about that vibe. Public service assistant. Even myself, you see that and you don't feel like, oh, this person's looking to write, and they're not. I talked to some of them. We have big alliances that are being built by the second. People are just looking to help each other. You don't know anyone until you actually meet them, shake their hand, talk to them. There's real people out there. People that are assisting people. So I hope that this message is really helpful for all of you, and so that you can understand why leadership was changed. And it has been changed already behind the scenes. I told you this energy theme already. Relax. You're already here. You're already here. There's nothing to worry about. And a lot of people have felt this over the years. All different types of people tuning in the spiritual aspect. It's called persecution implants. They've all been removed. We're all getting together now, getting on the same page, right? I'm a big sports guy. I'm a big football guy. I know that might trigger some people, but who cares? I live my everyday life, and I gotta live my life. I don't have people telling me how to live my life. I'm here to tell you, you do you. Okay, what are the things you like to do? What are the foods you like to eat? You do you. Write it in the comments. You do you. And we could do it all day. Oh yeah, we could do it all day. I could do this all day. It lasts the test of time. When you're authentic and you're getting that positive vibe, you could do it all day. And we show up every day. You do you, kid. You do you. And that's why people are listening more to leaders that are authentically rising right now. And people don't want to hear it anymore. Once you realize this, once you feel lighter, once you feel comfortable inside, and people are making the changes across the board. I see it. I'm always studying. It's the beauty. Sometimes I go through these little phases where it's just me and I'm sitting here and I talk to God and I study. I study leadership all day long. And I'm grateful to God that God didn't give me distractions. God removed all distractions from my everyday life, right? So that I could sit here and study leadership, because this is my vocation in life. Some people want things, they don't put the work in, okay? You got to put the work in. You learn before you earn. Write it down. You learn before you earn. Some people just say, no, you got to put work in. You got to build that foundation. We have built a foundation like never before here. So let's build a foundation for the new earth. I appreciate each and every one of you. What is your take on leadership? Have you seen authentic leaders that people just naturally respect? Let us know in the comments. And please, I'm grateful for this. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We have daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time. If you hit that notification bell, you will get a notification on your phone. You can even set an alarm on your phone to remind you to look for the videos. There will be a video every single day, a new video. So just so you know that. And check out the channel page. Remember, we had 2 videos yesterday. So some people, when I do that, you may maybe miss one of them. So, you know, you could click, you just smash my face. You can see that thing of just smash my face, open up the channel page and check out. I tell people, if you are new to the channel, if you watch, you know, the previous week's videos, the previous 2 weeks' videos, you'll be caught up to date. A lot of the videos will intertwine with each other. Okay, so I love each and every one of you, and leaders lead. It's simple as that. Leaders lead. You don't have to try. You just do. It's just a natural, and that's the world is going. We're going back to nature. And you'll see this. The more that you're free with yourself, you could just let yourself go. You could just be in the energy. So that's how life is going to be. And the density, right? The restrictions, right? There's no more blockages. There's no more barriers. We have to embrace this energy all day long. And that's how we grow. And that's when we're feeling good, we're producing well. We're improving as a society. We're getting better and better. So I love each and every one of you. Really appreciate if you share this video. And if you are subscribed to this channel, very soon, upcoming video will be the laws of leadership. The laws of leadership is coming, and we want to stay focused on this. I'm here to show up every day. I appreciate when you guys show up every day. That's a positive feedback loop. We're serving each other. We're coming together. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going. Love you all. Leaders lead.